Brian O'Brien, buddy old pal, and you all who are out there on other planets, welcome, welcome to another installment of the greatest priest duo friendship podcast. Not only in Payne County, in Tulsa County, the Diocese of Tulsa, and everywhere. Welcome to Pastors of Payne, y'all. I'm Father Kerry Kulich. I'm the pastor of St. John Catholic Student Center in Stillwater, Oklahoma. And we're here with my sidekick, uh, the very Reverend Rector of Holy Family Cathedral, Father Brian O'Brien. Everybody give him a round of applause. Hey!
Hello, hello.
There's much rejoicing there.
Yay, bacon!
Yeah. Hey,
Um,
welcome to the new year, y'all. Welcome to 2025.
it is 2025. It is a jubilee.
Yeah.
Let's
Uh,
get fired up.
have you ever seen the TV show The Jetsons?
It's been a while, yes, but I watched the Jetsons a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah. So the Jetsons is set in 2062. We're getting really close to 2062.
Really?
Yeah.
2062?
Yep. It was, yeah.
Really?
And we're in 2025.
Really?
Yeah. So, well, anyway, welcome to our little wonderful podcast here. Last month we talked about pilgrimages. So if you haven't started this,
Jubilees.
the Jubilee year, all of this good stuff. Even go back to the season of Advent, of prayer. What we do on our podcast is we only take 28 minutes and try to get right to the point. We don't jibber jabber and wander around.
We don't dilly dally.
You know what? I was out on an elk hunt
We do
during.
not lollygag.
We do not, and I was listening to a couple podcasts,
What were
and
you
I
doing?
found my.
Did you say you were on an elk hunt?
Yeah, I was hunting elk.
How'd that go?
Well, we shot 3 elk in 4 days, so pretty darn good.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean one of them it took like the we shot a couple cows and a bull, but the bull took a long time to track down because you're not looking for like small little bull elk. You want to put something on your wall and some meat in your fridge, feed your family. So yeah, it was a really magnificent time to go out with some buddies and elk hunt. You are never invited because
I don't want to
you just simply are afraid of the outdoors. Let's just put it that way. So hey, so what I wanted to talk about in this installment, I just came back from the Sikh conference. The Sikh conference every year is 25,000 something people. Salt Lake City this year, Washington D.C., and it's all these young college students. That's what that's their shtick is college students, conferences. They've tiptoed, and I'm not sure if Focus is doing what they call mission creep, where they're getting off the trail and they're trying to get involved in parish ministry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll bear fruit, maybe it won't. I don't know. We have Focus missionaries that work at parishes in the Diocese of Tulsa. Now, one of the things when we come back from Sikh, people are on this like spiritual high, kind of like when you come off of a retreat. I was on my 5-day canonical silent retreat, and when you're on there, I was in hermit mode. I was all by myself for 5 days. Brought my own food, made soup. I had soup and bread and some eggs, and then prayed, cut down cedar trees, and prayed some more and exercised. But you come off this sort of woo, woo, like Ric Flair.
Yeah, the music is amazing. The talks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
everybody goes to confession.
yeah. On one year, I think it was in it was either Nashville or San Antonio or Fort Worth. It was one of those three. But there was this moment where a kid walked up and said, "Are you a priest?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Can you hear my confession?" And I said, "How about right here?" And we sat down, and I got up after the confession to walk away, and there was a line of 20 people.
Yeah,
And I was like,
that's
I'm going to be
yeah,
here a while. I'm going to be
I
here a while.
believe
And
it.
so, well, there's confessions. Or, at one
The
point in time,
guts
there's
of that second person who sees, like, what's going through their head. Really, they see a priest in a random, what are you, in the hallway? I
no,
mean,
I pulled off to the side and I was like sitting by a trash can with my back against the wall on like a little
yeah,
bench.
okay. At what point has an official confession line ever been with your back to a trash can? Like that, I'm so intrigued by just like the behavior of people. Like
Yep.
they
Hey,
were walking by and they were like, there's a priest talking to someone. He looks like he's hearing a confession.
Purple Stole gives it away.
Purple stole, yeah. I think I'll just stand here. I
Indeed.
think I don't know. I think that's weird.
Indeed, that's what happened. And it's a beautiful time because there's just all these people they want to grow in holiness. They've listened to the words of John the Baptist during the Advent season, repent and make straight the path of the Lord. And they heard the Christmas readings and they saw Epiphany, the kings showing up to adore the Lord, and they too want to change their lives. Now, like and I encourage everybody go and look at Oxford English dictionary's word of the year because it's voted on. Last year it was brain rot, as I mentioned on a previous podcast. Last year it was brain rot. I want you to go look it up because that word usually sets the mood for the year. It's a vote of like, what do people think should be the word of the year? So there's a vote going on. It's already been voted. The new word is out. You figure it out. Okay. So when people come back from this and then they end the Christmas season, they're also entering into New Year, where every gym, um, every
2025.
gym, what?
It's the new year, 2025.
Every gym offers like a cheap membership. It's like $20 a month for 6 months, and people just sign up for it because they want to do something to get themselves fit this year.
Yes.
They want they want to do something that's going to get them swole this year. You know, not everybody can look like, you know, everybody is in a shape and they want to get in
That
shape.
is true. Everyone is in a shape. That is true.
Yeah, yeah, physically. Physically, they want to get in shape. Now, also, people set out on this adventure of wanting to grow in spiritual fitness shape, to grow in holiness. And they, at the Sikh conference, kids come back and they come back to college like, I'm going to daily mass. I'm going to pray my rosary every day. I'm going to go to Eucharistic adoration. I'm going to go to confession. They got this list. And then they get home on January 7th.
That's all. That's all it takes.
It just, it just takes 24 hours and it all timber.
It all falls apart.
So every year, we do this. We and then we have this phrase, and I use it around here at St. John and OSU. I say, "Don't wait for Lent. Don't wait for Lent.
Yeah, we're all
Don't."
very good at that. We it's middle, it's early December and we say, okay, gosh, when the new year starts, then I'm really gonna, you know, yeah, why not just start right now?
Mhm. Yeah. So what I want to talk about today is what are some things that we, as me and you, as priests, but also the good holy faithful out there who are on the mission and on the adventure to be saints for the kingdom of God. What can we all do to grow in holiness, to grow towards the kingdom of God each and every day? And so I
What
got a
can we
couple.
do? You got
Pardon?
some ideas? You got
I do.
ideas?
I do. I do.
Lay it on
So
us.
I make these little cards. Well, this is not the. This is kind of the first, but it's. I think it's. You can make yourself a little card, a little piece of paper, and we make these around here. And ours say, "Don't wait for Lent," or you can put on there like 2025 faith plan,
Okay,
and
I'm
then
listening.
ma-
Say
make
more.
maybe, yeah, make maybe like 20 of them, and or make three of them, and just start doing three. Make three little cards, and the three big things that the church gets from this guy named Jesus. Remember Jesus, Savior of the world, just born in Bethlehem, also known as Bread Town, and just write on there: fast, pray, alms. Fast, pray, alms.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then on those things, right under fasting, like one or two things you want to fast from. On the Feast of St. Lucy this past year, that was in December. Yeah, December, St. Lucy. I I I was, it was like on a Friday morning, I think. Yeah, I think that's about right. Friday morning. And I was talking about like what are some St. Lucy is a great patron saint. Carlos Acuti is the patron saint of like he's this new young hip, gonna be canonized, Pier Giorgio Frassati, young hip. But St. Lucy is a magnificent saint because one of the ways all of us are being seduced right now is through our eyeballs, our cell phones, shiny object. I was driving back from my elk hunt in December, and I'm driving past a casino, and what to my wondering eyes should appear that the side of the casino was all in glass where the bright, shiny slot machines were blinking lights.
Oh,
I was like,
wow.
golly, they're just
That'll get your attention.
they're so good. Like, your cell phones and TVs and computers, they're really seducing in the eyes. But also, I think why St. Lucy is a great saint is that we look at other people, and I tell students, I said, listen here, you take those judgy eyeballs and you turn them some other place.
Ah,
And they use my own words against me. They go, well, Father, I'm not judging you. I'm just observing what you're doing and coming to conclusions.
that's very funny.
Yeah. So, what are we going to do for fast, pray, and give alms? Things of our eyeballs. How are we like turning to prayer each other? Maybe sacred images, putting them up on the walls. Maybe having a sacred image, reading a little nugget of the scriptures each day, spiritual
Mm.
reading, and then from that, fasting, removing those barriers in our eyes, our ears, our mouth, and our hands, fast. Then we turn to pray because we're not indulging in those things any longer. We have more time to dedicate to listening to the voice of God, and then we give alms, which is both, financially we tithe, but also alms giving. Some people are like, I don't have any money. Well, now that you've fasted and prayed, use your eyeballs, your ears, to realize who is in great need around you. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, who? One of your parishioners gave a podcast talk. Madison Oman did, and it was on evangelization in their workplace.
I sent that out to the parish
Yeah,
in my weekly flock note.
yeah. So I think like as we set out on this new year, and we're already in it, with the Epiphany, the arrival of the three wise men. I'm coming back from Seek. It's like, okay, Lord, what do I need to
Mm.
do to stay in union with you in 2025 and not repeat 2024, which is brain rot, soul rot, heart rot. Yeah.
Yeah, there is. Yes, there's a lot to. I think people, they say that the definition of insanity is, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So my guess is, if you're listening to this, you in years past, you've made some sort of New Year's resolution. You wrote it down, you put it on your wall, and then now maybe it worked, and if it did, then go for it. But I think for most of us, we do that, and then it falls apart. And so doing something different, doing something very manageable, um, looking at your time, talent, treasure, and that just that life of stewardship. What can I do in 2025 to grow in my relationship with the Lord? I loved. I was on a little Zoom call a couple weeks ago, and Father Jack Gleason was on it, and he's been a big mentor for you and me. He's the pastor at St. Bernard's out in South
Mm.
Tulsa. Um, and he had a phrase, and it has stuck with me. We were talking about something different, and he just said, "Oh, I told him I was having kind of just trouble getting ahead. I feel like I'm like behind all the time, and I have been since I got here, and that's a very frustrating feeling." And he said to me, um, "Just do the next right thing. Do the next right thing." And I love that, and it has really stuck with me, where I'm like kind of in the moment, and I'm like, okay, what do I do now? And like, okay, what's the next right thing? Okay, oh, I got to make that phone call. What's the next right thing? Oh, I got to stop by this classroom. What's the next right thing? Oh, I got to pray. I need to, I haven't prayed in a little while. What's the next right thing? It's a beautiful way to live. I have to obviously think about next week and next month and next year, but so often when there's a void, I mean, you've been talking about kind of doom scrolling, and when there's a void in the action, you have 2 minutes, you're at a stoplight, or you're in between something, and what do? You pull your phone out, and you try to like fill that space with something, but it's not
Mhm.
necessarily a good thing. It's not.
No.
It's not the next right thing. It's the next thing, but it's not the next right thing.
Yeah,
That I think
exactly.
would be a beautiful way to live in 2025. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I
Um,
have this phrase I use all the time. I say, let's do the next best holy excellent thing. We
why do
must
you
have.
always have to outdo me?
No, I mean it's. I just. Yeah, it's the same thing. I'm glad we're all on the same sheet of music now. I mean, it's.
Do the next right thing. Do the next right. What did you say? Holy
I say let's do the next
thing.
best excellent holy thing.
Excellent holy thing.
And I
Okay.
may I may have gotten that from Father Jack and then elaborated on it because yeah, he's been a magnificent mentor even when we were seminarians.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
Anyway, so
even
that's a great way. Yeah, to jump into this 2025. Right. It's Christmas season. Um, it's an opportunity for a new start on,
yep,
maybe not on your whole life. Your whole life probably doesn't need a big reset, but there is some part of your life that probably does.
yeah. The in those at every Sikh conference there is a couple patron saints just around. Different saints, and on January 2nd, my birthday is also the birthday of Trezalizu, and is the feast day of Gregory of Nazianza, and what's his name? Gregory the Nazianza, Basil the Great. So
Yes.
I, I
Yes.
wonder, I wonder if people this year in this 2025, we're only a few days in, to take a patron saint for this year and
Ooh,
and use that line that St. Paul has. He says, "Imitate me as I imitate Christ." So then start to imitate these saints. Um, yeah, this past year in 2024, I was reading Jose Maria Escriva.
love him.
Magnificent. You have the little, donkey, and he says like, what is it
Don't
like?
say that on here. I haven't given that homily yet to my people.
Oh, okay, never mind.
It's
Let me
coming. It's
retract that.
coming soon.
There's the other one. He calls it the heroic minute.
Yes.
The first thing you do, the heroic minute, is when your alarm goes off. You get up and you pray the Our Father while you're making your bed, but be up as soon as that alarm clock goes off. And so maybe this year there's a virtue you want, a virtue you want. Mine is this year, and students will be back here in the next 2 weeks to school, and mine
Yep.
is I'm always late by 10 minutes to Eucharistic adoration and confessions during the weekday.
You're always late?
Always late.
Why?
Always late. Because I sometimes think, that something that takes 15 minutes will only take 3.5 minutes.
Yes, I do that too.
And it always takes 15 minutes. And I'm like, well, Coolidge, get your stuff together. Come on, dude. Just be there on time. So this year I'm setting an alarm on my calendars on Tuesday and Thursday that says start be there at 4:30, and it's going to alert me 15 minutes and 5 minutes before adoration confession
Oh,
begins.
wow.
I don't have to worry about it on Friday, and I don't have to worry about it on Wednesday. Friday because mass is at 7:30 in the morning, and Wednesday because it's 9 o'clock at night, and Mondays because I got Monday mass now at 9 p.m. So our priest group, I don't have to rush back and forth and change calendars. This is and it's just it's something that keeps digging at my heart. Like, do this, do this. Uh, yeah, this year I started putting my phone in the bell ringer's closet attached to a power cable.
Yeah.
So, because I didn't want to just carry it around with me anymore. I mean, I did a big study on the anxiety of young people in the college world, and the scene was set. Imagine if you went to sleep in 2005 and woke up in 2025.
Yeah. It's
You would think
different.
like, what are these people doing walking around staring at their feet with square glass objects that
Hmm.
wherever they sit down, they take them out and use them and stare at them. And so one of the things I'm doing is like I am doing less of this. I'm like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I can't have this. Like just be staring at this thing because it is addicted by design.
Yes.
And that also means that I'm reading a little more. I pray my rosary now every day rather than like twice a
Yes.
week.
Lovely.
Yes,
Lovely.
and I'm just trying to grow in holiness and listen to the voice of God this year.
Yeah, there's just a lot of opportunity here for folks to live differently, and the new year is an opportunity to go to confession if it's been a long time, to build some new habits of prayer. I like to use these kind of moments. I usually do it like on Ash Wednesday, but I'm planning. So actually, this first week of January, I'm with my parents down in Houston, just hanging out. Um, but use it as an opportunity to like clean your house, clean your desk. Um, yeah,
Clean my desk.
clean your desk. Yeah. I've also been just the idea. This came out of a little conversation I had actually with somebody in Focus of like I feel like I'm overscheduled, and I felt that way for 17 years,
Yeah.
and I don't want to, and it was like what can fall away, what can fall away, what am I spending time on that is not very important, what can fall away. And that's hard for me specifically, just because I want to be in, I want to be in everything, I want to know what's going on. But there are some things that I need to do less of in order to free up
Yes.
space for more prayer, doing kind of bigger things at the cathedral here that need my attention rather than some of the smaller things. But it's very hard. But that's my 2025, doing the next right thing and letting some things fall away.
Yeah. And part of this like renewal of a life of hope and in this like prayer, like setting the goal for 2025, maybe there's a word, or maybe you're going to go on, we're doing this pilgrimage in the Diocese of Tulsa.
Oh,
Go, like every Saturday morning, you're guaranteed there's mass somewhere. And you can go to those pilgrimage sites, get one of the booklets at your parish, come out here
mhm.
to Stillwater, make the drive to God's country. You want to know what heaven's going to be like?
Yeah.
I mean, because remember, in heaven there is no marriage and there are no sports teams, so it.
True.
we, we've had a terrible
True.
football season, so there's no heartache. And Stillwater is the town of hope. Remember, faith, love, and hope, and the greatest of these is hope.
One of the fun things about being a sports fan is, and I think it's one of the reasons why sports is so appealing, because there's a natural inclination, I think, in humanity to hope. Like we want things to be better, and in sports, like seasons end. So I mean, OSU football, right? This year did not go well, but talk to people, and I'm sure they're already like, but next year we've got this new person, and but next year there's this recruit, and I've heard a lot of good things about them, and
Yeah,
they're going to be the next Brandon Whedon, or what they're gonna, and so there's this like eternal hope, including for like franchises. I mean, I root for the Houston Texans. Houston Texans have never been to the Super Bowl, never made it past the first round. Never made it past the second round of the playoffs. And every year I'm like, this is it. This is our year.
this is it. This is
And
gonna be
then
it.
then it plays out and it doesn't quite go according to
Yeah.
plan. But anyway, guys, 2025, guys, this is our year. This is our year. We are doing this. So
Yeah.
get your butt to mass, get your act together. When does school
Well
start at
said.
OSU? When
Pardon?
does
When does
school,
school
when,
start?
when does school start?
Soon and very soon.
Good.
Well, they cranked it back a year. A couple of years ago, they tried to save a lot of money, and so it began like the
Works.
Monday. It began the Tuesday after Martin Luther King Day, but now it begins on the 13th of January.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
13th of January. We have our
All right.
preschool that Monday, um, and on that 13th of January, which is also our welcome back week. So students out there, if you're like coming back to school, get ready for welcome back week. All sorts of events going on, and new mass times and fun
What are your new
shenanigans.
mass times? You have new mass times?
Well, we changed our Monday mass. It was at 5:30, and we changed it to 9 p.m. simply because, you know, I'm on the road. We're a St. John Catholic Student Center is a donor funded church. Like one of my collections was $105 this year.
Golly.
That is both morning and evening mass.
Students should be giving though. If there's students listening to this, maybe Father Carey won't say it, but you
Yeah,
should be. That place is doing a lot for you students.
yeah.
You guys should be dishing it out,
So
helping things move.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it is what it is. But anyway, I'm on the road, and so I'm out visiting donors and raising money. And then on Mondays, we also have our preach group. So it was like 2 out of the 4 Mondays we were always doing something. So we switched it to nine p.m. on Monday.
Okay, that
But
makes sense. That's
I'm
cool.
excited. I'm excited about this new year. I'm excited about 2025. I don't want to be brain rot year. My word last year in opposition to brain rot was wisdom. Pray for
Yeah.
wisdom.
And if you've been baptized and confirmed, right? You got the sevenfold gifts of the Spirit.
Indeed, sir.
Waiting to be opened
Well,
to do it. Okay,
y'all,
happy 2025. Merry Christmas. And we'll see everybody next week.
peace.